side of the story home. And then, you know, your characters notice something, and you know, you're on that train of thought, and she's impatient with you. So I think, actually, for Beckett's character, the nose grab right after is really important for her. That physicality, that physical comedy, to be able to follow really closely is really, you know, what the show is all about. There's also a great moment in that Kier scene, which is kind of, you know, the homage to Columbo, where you start to leave, and then you turn back and you're doing that one more thing. Can I ask you just one more question? I love that little nod.
I have a question for you, Rob.
Yeah.
The establishing shots that we have between some of these scenes, where do those come from? They're obviously not stock shots that we just
In the
purchased.
pilot or the series?
Both. Like in the pilot, or were they stock that we purchased? And
The majority of the shots that we use were purchased stock shots. They're from all the studios around town. They're
Right.
pulled from features. You know, the criteria we have is the quality of them. They have to be a broadcast quality, high def quality.
And they also have to help with the storytelling.
And that's really
neutral.
the quest that we go through, that we struggle through in post, is finding establishing shots that say something.
so you guys have to like go through a bunch of
it's a long
lots.
Cherry
plot,
pick out of
and you do it
thousands.
every episode.
Yeah.
So but now that we've gone into series, are some of these shots done by us, like a crew?
No, what we would hope when we come back is that we would have a unit go to New York and shoot, you know, for some time, and actually have more specific, you know, this is the west side, and, you know.
Yeah, so you can really be...
Yeah, because right now they're just
Specific to
kind of
story.
flyovers, and we're trying to suggest place. But between the movement of the shot, the lighting of the shot, and the location of the shot is where we're trying to find the right shots for every episode. It's a journey.
But at the top of the sequence, there was one hand crank shot, which is something that we were
Bridge.
trying out for the pilot, where
Yeah.
you saw the bridge kind of jump there.
Yeah.
And that's something that you did on your previous show, Daybreak, that you were playing around with.
Yeah, it was Bill Rowe had brought it to me on Daybreak, and we'd use it to kind of create, you know, anxiety and whatnot. But it can actually be quite fun. The fun part about that establishing shot was Andrew and I were on the other side of the building and had seen something nice with the Brooklyn Bridge. We walked around the corner and saw that Brooklyn Bridge was right. The tower was right there at the end of the street.
And we're like, we're shooting here.
So it was all fell within a frame. And then I put the hand crank right side by side with the 35 mil, so you have the little jiggle, and then you cut to the hard shot. And but we just haven't had those opportunities in the episodes to shoot establishing shots. You're too busy photographing dialogue.
Right.
So, you know, there's been a lot of back and forth between the two characters, establishing who has the upper hand. You know, Castle says, I was sure I was right. And she says, oh, come on, didn't you figure it out? And he goes, oh, so I was right, taking away her moment of glory. And then we continue that back and forth in here. And now this is really the first time in the episode where the two of them are on the same page working together.
But almost impossible to prove.
Unless you find the second passport.
Gotta be freaked after your little meet and greet.
Keep eyeballs on him. If he moves, I want to know. The things that people will do for money.
This guy killed his own sister in cold blood and 2 more people to cover it up. He's either a world-class sociopath. There's a lot more to this story than just money.
All about the story for Castle.
Oh, Markaway, tell him I said hello.
And here's our Judge Markaway, who, in his other life, is actually the voice of Homer Simpson.
He just does not...
Dan Castellanetto, just a very talented actor.
Very talented.
Does not look like the voice of Homer Simpson.
It's fun when he goes into it.
It's amazing.
It's a neat transformation, yeah.
Yeah.
Exigent situation.
Yeah, you hated that word,
Judge.
exigent. Stana accused me of putting one really difficult phrase, like a tongue twister phrase, into every episode just to challenge her.
Judge,
I told her
hate
it
Couple of
was
names,
not.
too.
It was not intentional.
A couple of witness names and suspect names.
You know, I remember this. Isn't this the day that Obama won the election?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, we were filming, and
Yes.
yeah,
That's
so
right.
the last shot of the day,
Are you sure you can
just after the last shot of the day, they called the election for him.
Very exciting day. That was an apartment building. This was in an apartment building. It's the this was Pacific
Downtown
7th,
LA.
8th floor. It's an old train building.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really loud. That's all I
That's in New
remember.
York,
All
right?
the
Yeah, New
marble,
York.
really loud. Yeah, this is back in New York.
This
This
is
was a
Brian
building that-
Avers, a New York actor. It's
Brian
wonderful.
Avers, he was
One thing
great.
that I think we miss in here in LA that we have in New York are all the scaffoldings.
I'll tell you a quick story about that. Is as I was beginning my scouts through New York, not knowing New York that well, I was like, where can I find a building without scaffolding? This is crazy. I can't.
There's so
And we actually needed to shoot this building on this street for
because
a
of the
particular
alley.
reason. For the alley at the end.
Yeah.
And then
There are very few great alleys in New York. We found a great alley here.
shot it. Somebody saw the pilot, I think, or somebody said, that's so perfect. It's exactly what New York looks like. It's all scaffolding.
It's all scaffolding.
We finally couldn't avoid the scaffolding, and we just said, look, it's New York. It's everywhere. And we drive everywhere, and there'd be scaffolding. Even across the street, there's scaffolding.
How about next season, we buy a length of scaffolding.
I love this moment.
Just slap it up in front of buildings.
Oh, yeah.
I love this moment. There's just enough sass and sex to
I know,
to
right
both
there,
characters.
when Nathan, when he was calling to her, and, we're shooting very fast, so sometimes Nathan and I are talking to each other during the take. The way he said, come on, I thought he needs to sound like a kid. And I just yelled out the word so he could hear me, adolescent. He said, come on. And right there was another little chisel into the statue of, who Castle is. I said, there's a little bit of that 14-year-old in there. Good bit. I like this bit.
Open the door, Harrison.
I remember watching this scene, watching you actually film this scene, and when you took your sock off, I said to myself, those are the shortest toes.
That's actually in L.A. We shot that insert in L.A., and this is back in New York.
The shortest toes on a man over 6 feet tall.
Oh my God, you are such a foot guy, and you just tipped your hat. Now everybody knows.
It's all good, dude.
I got a lot of foot fetish letters from that scene.
Did you really?
No, I did not. But now you're into it, and now you like it.
Now you will, after people.
I love he's running down holding his shoe.
Shot in New York.
Oh, man, that was tough because every time we did that shot, we had to reload that bag.
Oh,
we had to
that's
rip
right.
it again. We got to clean up the alley.
Did several takes, too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were very good about keeping the alley clean for me so I could run down barefoot without getting tetanus or something.
You had a pad on your foot there, but it didn't help much. Right?
Here's some good Beckett cop right here. Boom. That looks great.
Wow, look how she holds that weapon.
Yeah, that's great. And then this bit where you check your hair. Yeah. Oh,
Let him go, Harrison.
That's very tactical stuff.
there's a part coming up here that I am very proud of.
You should be very proud of that.
What part? The part with the standoff and with the disarm. Yes.
Yeah.
Castle, you are not helping.
You know what I think? I think you did ask.
So, very, very tense scene. We're back in kind of conventional action area, but we want to put a different twist on it. And what's fun about the scene is that all Castle wants to do is make the story make sense.
Yeah.
It's like, the story doesn't make sense. Make the story make sense for me. I don't care if you're holding a gun against
It's
me.
almost like he doesn't really even realize the stakes of the situation.
It's not over. It's not over. Drop the gun or I swear to God I'll...
Oh, God, the sound effect.
Tell me you saw that!
It's too loud.
That was Nathan's line. Tell me you saw that.
Yeah, that's
He
what I'm
came
proud
up,
of.
Yeah, he came up with
I
it on
love
the day.
that.
It was a great line.
Very
Great line.
I thought it was a very, very, very cool kind of action hero move, and I
Yeah.
don't think that's quite Castle.
Yeah.
I thought that tag on it puts it into a spot where Castle...
Tell me you saw that.
Yeah, I just elevated. Who's that guy next to Colby French?
Well, guess this is it.
You guys were in the back there trying to work out who was going to read the Miranda rights in the background, right?
Yeah, we were,
Yeah.
actually.
So I can be another one of your conquests.
Or that could be one of yours.
A futile fight.
I love how this was shot in New York with our DP out there, Mike Slovis, and I love how Rob and Mike made cop lights sexy.
Well, when you're shooting towards her, you put all the cops behind her, and when you're shooting towards him, you drive him around the street and put them behind
Yeah,
him.
it's the same cars.
Yeah.
I like that moment.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, this is
Well played, Stana, as well.
this is the moment where you're like, either you have a series or not. When he's staring at her walk away.
Where's your gun and your badge, Stana?
Oh, yeah. Lost again on the badge.
I think
I can't find it.
She had Esposito hold it for her
I see.
while she handled that business.
Drives me nuts.
Andrew, you're the one who told me this is how writers write, by poking with the first finger.
No, that's how I write.
You're a writer.
It's hell on my back though. But
Nice.
yeah.
I like that. I thought that was a really nice moment in the alley, and the song is sincere. And I think we're kind of used to those heartwarming, connective endings, and then here comes the castle spin.
Check out that view out
It's amazing.
the window. You have that bridge out there.
It's really there.
It's really there.
No way.
In this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's gone because we're in New York right here.
But he did help solve this case.
Oh.
And when the mayor's happy, the commissioner's happy. And when the commissioner's happy, I'm happy.
How long, sir?
Oh, it's up to him.
What?
Well.
You know, Nathan was so terrific in this role, and he also was a real leader for us when we got on set, so much so that when we were in New York, he organized this game, this Accomplice game, which was kind of a treasure hunt through New York.
It's like a street theater.
Yeah, with all these crazy characters, and we had to put clues together. So it was the cast and the executive producers, and we were running around New York in the rain. It was really great team building, and it was I think it was that everybody really gelled and came together as a family.
I've
Really good
never
stuff.
I've never forgiven him.
Yeah.
It was great.
I really still
Thank
like
you.
I still
Thank you.
like you.
Cheers.